Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Equity Guys pre-market video. My name is Chirag, an NISM certified technical analyst, and let's get into the view for today. Looking at how Nifty futures and Bank Nifty futures are looking today, we see that both are trading at a premium of 82 and 252 points premium. So definitely bullish in nature over there. Looking at India VIX is trading at a low of 141%. So that is definitely bullish in nature. The fear index is definitely reducing overall at 10.68 levels, so looking extremely bullish in nature there. Crude oil is the one thing that is looking bearish in nature. From an intraday perspective, you have a 0.97% increase there. Shouldn't be much of a difference there because the overall levels are still bullish because we are below 6,500 levels. But from an intraday perspective, a slight bullishness might be there. Moving on to uh, Nifty, or GIF Nifty, I should say. GIF Nifty is up, seeing a gap up of 52 points, so bullish in nature over there. So let's see if this gap up is something that can be sustainable. So, looking at gold bees and silver bees, gold bees up 1.50% and silver bees down just 0.05%. So pretty neutral here, but I think a lot of hedging is going on in gold. But now people might start to switch their positions from gold back into Nifty. Looking at the sectors is quite mixed in nature, but still looking more on the positive side. You see pancakes and IT and even infrastructure being on the positive side, most infrastructure being a little bit neutral but still on the positive side. And then you have auto being on the negative side here, auto picking up with pancakes and IT. I think those three sectors should really carry today. If they all turn positive, that would be extremely amazing there, but still an overall bullish sentiment from the sectors. Looking at the advanced decline ratio giving slightly bearish news here, but overall we should see a neutral data here because 1483 advances, 1514 declines. You're giving a very neutral sentiment, as the amount of stocks are closing towards a day high, amount of stocks closing towards a day low are quite the same here. Moving on to the FII DII data, FIIs have actually started buying in the cash market, which is extremely amazing, and DII is also buying with them. So 2050 crores of buying from FIIs, which is incredibly good, incredibly positive data for the market. Looking at the FNO segment, we see in index futures also we see about 280 crores of buying, and in stock futures we see a little bit of selling of 251 crores. So we can probably see some hedge positions from the cash market, and they're hedging in the stock futures department here. So that could be a possibility, but the overall view, because there is about 2000 crores of buying, is on the positive side. Looking at the advanced decline ratios, we see Nifty 50 with an advance of 31 and a decline of 19, and Bank Nifty neutral smack dab in the middle 66. So over here too we see slightly positive data especially in Nifty, neutral data and Bank Nifty here. Moving on to the option chain. So the option chain over here, we have switched to the new expiry system, so 16th will be the next expiry that we will take. The ninth expiry, something that was already over. Looking at how Nifty is, definitely we see bullish data here on the right side, which has puts. You do see selling in both in and out of the money, and on the left side, which has called, you see buying in the money and selling in out of the money, deep out of the money. Little bit of buying in somewhere closer to in the money is going on, but overall data is over here is bullish. So keeping that in mind, the 24, 850 and 800 levels are key levels that you can mark. So the reason why 24, 850 and 800 levels are two levels that you can possibly mark as those are the levels. If the market ever has to take support, it will come down there, take the support, and move up from there because of the bullish tendencies in the market. So please mark those in your chart. That will be very important for today if the market ever so does have to come down. Looking at the major global indices, you do see that the US, Dow Jones, S&P 500, Nasdaq, all giving positive data, all opening on the positive side there, sorry, closing on the positive side there. That is one thing. In Europe, we also see DAX, FTSE, and CAC all on the positive side, all close positive there. CAC a little bit neutral here. DAX, 0.37% negative, but apart from that, FTSE and CAC both on the positive side over there. So again, positive data again coming from Europe and the US there. Looking at the Asian markets, Nikkei running at a positive of 0.31 and Kospi running at a positive of 1.39%, so it's extremely bullish in nature. Moving over to the Indian ADRs are quite mixed. You do see big buying in Dr. Reddy's over here, but you also see big amount of selling in Big Buy Trip. And overall, I would say with how there's buying in Infosys but selling in HDFC, slight neutral sort of buy in selling in ICICI Bank. Here, you could probably say this is a very sort of neutral US ADR, slightly leaning towards the negative side, but again, more so on the neutral side for Indian ADRs. Looking at stock futures or index futures, sorry, for especially the in US futures market, we do see that the futures market is extremely positive for US 500 and Tech 500, and quite neutral on US 30. We do see over in Nikkei there is a bit of consolidation that is happening in the market over here. Neutral open, and then it was also consolidating here, but still mostly on the positive side. So we should be expecting a little bit of bullishness tendencies from there coming on into the market, because yesterday was a consolidation day. So we can move and expect kind of a buy on dip type of market in the Indian markets over here today. So moving on to the view for the day, we do see bullish tendencies here. The market is still not at that over bought levels yet. If we can possibly break R1 here, keeping S1 respected, that will be extremely positive over here and push us over into that overbought. And then we would see a little bit of retracement but in the week, and then next week we can possibly see an extreme bullish move. But if you're looking at it from an overall perspective, the um, we do see that the bullish pattern is there on the daily time frame. So break out of this, which the gap up I think will allow us to do, will be extremely positive for the Indian market today. So keeping that in mind, guys, don't trade the view. Trade only one index, one instrument, and make sure you're trading your setup and not even your emotions. So keeping that in mind, I hope you guys have a great trading day. See you guys tomorrow for the view.